Hello and welcome back to Clicks on the Side. Today we're going to be doing a modern 300-point theme team based around DC's scientists. That's right. DC characters with the scientist keyword is going to be our focus today. And we're going to be starting off with the Roses for Red iconic set featuring both Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. Anytime you have a great sculpt from the Batman animated series, I am totally going to be on board. Have not got to try them out yet. Very much looking forward to being able to do so. Let's take a look at Harley Quinn first. Harley Quinn does have the Batman enemy team ability as well as Underworld. Has the Arkham Asylum, Gotham City Sirens, Gotham City Underworld, and Scientist keywords. Has the trait, ooh, Red'll love these. Harley Quinn can pick up and hold plant terrain markers without using super strength. Support as free, but only if Harley Quinn is holding a plant terrain marker. When Harley Quinn uses it, destroy her held plant terrain marker. Also has another trait, Queens of Crime. If Harley Quinn is adjacent to a friendly character named Poison Ivy, she and Poison Ivy take a maximum of 2 damage from attacks. Gotta love that, and odds are these two will be together throughout the game unless one of them gets knocked out. We are going to be playing Harley Quinn at her 75-point click. Has a range of 4 with 2 targets. Starts off with Sidestep, Quake, and Super Senses with a special damage power. And then that alternates with Outwit throughout her dial. Later on gets Leap Climb, Precision Strike, and Super Senses. Let's take a look at that special damage power. Chocolates, that's right, gives you probability control and shape change. Very, very good. Makes her hard to hit with the shape change and the super senses. And then if you do get hit, you do have the prob to still try to get out of it. Yeah, and even if you do get hit, it's only going to do the 2 damage. Very, very nice. Now let's take a look at her partner in crime, Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy also has Batman enemy team ability with Underworld, Arkham Asylum, Gotham City Sirens, Gotham City Underworld, and Scientist keywords. She has a few traits. Her first one is, thanks Peanut, you really shouldn't have. When Poison Ivy heals 1 or more clicks after resolutions, heal an adjacent friendly character named Harley Quinn 1 click. So not only can Harley Quinn use support on Poison Ivy for free, she also gets to heal herself 1 click. You also have the trait Growing Over Gotham. At the beginning of your turn, generate a plant hindering terrain marker within 4 squares of Poison Ivy or any friendly plant terrain marker. This game, that marker has, when this marker hinders line of fire, characters instead modify defense +2. Now, we've been saying that quite a bit. Other Poison Ivies do this. I know Man-Thing can do this. I'm pretty sure Swamp Thing can do this. So, if you have a chance, I would get some special terrain markers for that. Worth the investment. We are going to be doing Poison Ivy at 45 points. So, she does have a range of 4 with 1 target. Mind Control, Steal Energy, Combat Reflexes, and Perplex throughout her dial. Not bad at all. So she's going to be hard to hit herself. She does have one more trait, though, and that is Choking Vines. Poison. When Poison Ivy uses poison and makes a close attack, she considers characters occupying or adjacent to squares with friendly plant terrain markers as adjacent to her. So you can go ahead and swing on your opponent from a distance. Very, very nice. All right, joining the ladies is also from Batman's Rogue Gallery. From the Notorious set, we are looking at rare number 40, Mr. Freeze. Always knocking it out of the park with the Mr. Freeze sculpts, in my opinion. All the way back to Joker's Wild was the first one I got, and I love that sculpt. I kept hoping it would get a legacy. Still holding out hope. We'll see. Mr. Freeze does have the Batman enemy team ability, Arkham Asylum, Gotham City Underworld, Injustice League, Suicide Squad, Armor, and Scientist keywords. We are going to be playing him at his 50-point value. With that, he does have a trait, Frozen Earth. At the beginning of the game, generate 2 ice-blocking terrain markers in any squares, at least 3 squares from a map edge. This game, those markers have adjacent characters must roll breakaway to move if they don't already. If you're not the first player, generate 4 instead. So, you are going to hope to win initiative and choose to go second with this guy, just to make it that much more inconvenient for your opponent. Does have sidestep to start off, special attack power, barrier, and then that turns into regen, and then range combat expert throughout. Range of 5 with 3 targets. Gotta love that, because let's take a look. Actually, he does have one more trait before we get that attack power. Frozen in Fear. When an opposing character fails a breakaway roll, after resolutions deal them 1 penetrating damage. So that's where those pillars will come in handy. If they happen to get stuck beside them, now they have to roll to break away. And yeah, you get potentially free damage. You can never turn that down. But what I love about this Mr. Freeze is his ice gun attack. Incapacitate. When Mr. Freeze uses it, after resolutions deal each hit character damage equal to their action tokens. So you're really hoping to double them up on their action tokens, or if they've already got 2 action tokens. Yeah, that's 3 characters if they're all in range that you can incap, potentially do 2 damage to each of them. And then ideally, my plan is to try to keep these 3 somewhat together. Let Harley at her 75 points carry around Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy, since she has Underworld. And then he can sidestep if he needs to be able to take his shot, since he does not have any running shot or any movement like that. But that's my idea for those 3. And that takes me to our next character. One that I am very glad did get the legacy treatment. A sculpt that I knew once I pulled it I was going to keep forever. Originally from the Joker's Wild set, but now is from DC's Notorious. We have the ManBat. Absolutely gorgeous sculpt. Joker's Wild had quite a few good sculpts. Let's just get that out in the open. But this is clearly one of the better sculpts in the game, period. You remember this sculpt. Let's go ahead and move these guys over a little bit for this big guy. There we go. Okay, you there, and Mr. Freeze in the back seat. Okay. ManBat. I do apologize if it's hard to read. These cards, sometimes they can be tricky. Does have the Batman enemy team ability, Gotham City, Animal, and Scientist keywords. Has a trait, Scent of Blood. When ManBat hits with a close attack, after resolutions give a hit character a bleeding token. When a character with 1 or more bleeding tokens is dealt damage, increase the damage dealt by +1 for each bleeding token. Now, do correct me if I'm wrong. I believe would that be separate from modifiers? So, say if he hits blades on someone with 4 blood tokens somehow, bleeding tokens. I don't see that happening. I do wonder if that means you would go past the rule of 3 and it would do the 4. If I'm not the best at the rules, to be completely honest, so if you know better than I do let me know in the comments. But anyway, that is still very, very nice to have, just knowing you can do that much damage on top of the blades ManBat has. 45 points, has improved movement through character bases, and that will come in handy. I almost lost the card there. Very handy with his swooping dive trait. Super senses. When ManBat attacks, modify his attack +2 if he isn't occupying the square he began the turn in. So as you saw, has charge on the top, so he can just keep charging and charging and charging around, just flying around. And each time he gets to attack with a +2. So as you see, his dial is not very strong without that +2. The super senses helps keep him alive a little bit, but not much. That is where his attack power comes in. Feast on blood. Blades, claws, fangs, steel energy. When ManBat uses steel energy, he instead heals equal to the damage hit characters took. So, instead of just healing one click, let's say that Blades rolls and hits a 5. You can roll, since he is 6 clicks long, it's going to be hard to one-shot him. It does give you a chance to bring him back. Very squishy. That is the downside of ManBat. But I think I've come up with a way to keep him around a little bit longer. And that is by bringing in from the, I believe it is the Peacemaker Iconics Wings of Eagly. I believe it's the Wings of Eagly one. But we're bringing in John Economos. Not gonna lie, when I first saw this one, I completely wrote him off as not going to be that great of a piece, but I have come to realize just how useful he can be. I wish he was a little cheaper, but to be honest, he does do a lot. Let's see why he has made the team. There we go. John Economos has the Suicide Squad team ability. Argus, Suicide Squad, and Scientist keywords. Comes in at 45 points and has the trait Frame Job. Power. Remove all hack tokens from friendly characters, then give a hack token to a friendly character within range. That's right, doesn't even have to be in line of fire, just within range. The character with the hack token can use shape change. I'll let you guess who we are giving that to. When that character uses it and succeeds after resolutions, they may deal 1 penetrating damage to an opposing character. Now that's interesting. It does not specify it has to go to the attacking character, just to an opposing character. So it doesn't mention any line of fire. It doesn't mention any range. It just says 1 penetrating damage to an opposing character. So for 45 points for that trait alone, not bad at all. I will take that all day. It's going to make ManBat survive that much more. Yeah, love it. So has stealth, no attack power to start off with Mastermind, and a special damage power, which we'll get into. Then later on, he fluctuates between perplex and probability control. Does get blades later on. Obviously, he's holding that chainsaw. Charge, blades, toughness. 5 clicks long. Like I said, I wish he was a little cheaper, but I completely understand why. Because let's look at that special damage power on his top click. Perplex, probability control. When John Economos uses either, he may target the character with the hack token regardless of range and line of fire. That's right. So now, not only does ManBat gain shape change because of John Economos, he essentially gains probability control and perplex. Obviously, ManBat doesn't have it, but if there's a role you don't like that happens to ManBat, John Economos can bail him out with his prob. Yeah, had to have him on the team to make ManBat that much more dangerous. So not many points left on this build. So I went with probably one people wouldn't suspect, but we're down to 40 points. For 30 points, we're going to bring in, from the Notorious set, Uncommon number 26, Brainiac. Excuse me. Why are we bringing Brainiac in? Let's take a look. He does have the team player, team ability, Injustice League, Cosmic, Robot, and Scientist keywords. We're going to be bringing him in at his 30-point click. With that, he starts off with Phase Teleport, Precision Strike, ESD, and a special damage power, a range of 5, and 1 target. But the reason we're bringing in Brainiac is because of his traits, especially the first one, new configurations, leadership. We needed leadership on this team. When Brainiac uses it, friendly characters within range that share a keyword with him are considered adjacent to him. So want to get him within 5 squares of where ManBat's going to be trying to do his terrorizing. So you could try to use leadership on ManBat. That is the plan. That is what we're going for. And then there is the special damage power, Your Mightiest defeated by math. Outwit. When Brainiac uses it to target a character that can use Impervious and I'm guessing this was supposed to be or chooses a defensive power, modify the target's combat values by -1 until your next turn, and that power is protected outwit. There we go. Nothing else on the back. Very solid for 30 points. Got to have that leadership on this team. Nice. So that's my thoughts on the scientists. I am also planning, since I have the points, of putting Bucky's arm on here. I'm debating. Honestly, I think I'm probably going to give it to Poison Ivy. Give her that super senses on a 6. And then also Close Combat Expert was my first thought, was Poison Ivy. Could also give it to ManBat, but ManBat's already going to have a lot going on. Nobody else really makes sense. I could just give it to Harley as well. But that I definitely want to get Bucky's arm in there. Because, why not take advantage of it? But that was my thought on a DC Comics scientist theme team build. I like what I've got going on here. Anytime I can get ManBat to work, I want ManBat on the board. Let me know what you think. Did you like this team? Are you looking forward to more? That's going to be it for me. Thank you for joining me. And until next time, this has been Clicks on the Side.